we're in 2 and 3. It's supposed to be
Are we
quiet.
waiting for 30 seconds?
Yeah, wait for some people to log in for
Okay.
a few seconds, but you are live.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. We're giving everybody 30 seconds to log in here.
Just in
Then we'll
case there's
begin.
any stragglers along the way here. We're excited to be here for the Carillon Conversations. We are founders of Vibragenix and making this presentation on vibration exercise and the keys to anti-aging. I'm Dr. Caroline Stites. This is Dr. Carl Cadwell, my business partner. And we'd like you to help us support Feeding South Florida by donating at the website. It is a cause that the Carillon supports as well, so we're happy to back that up. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about us. So I'm classically trained as a naturopathic physician. I have a master's degree in nutrition, but I come from a very traditional allopathic medical family. And that was totally the trajectory I was on until I started really looking at medicine and what caused disease and realizing that our system was basically an illness management system and not a true wellness system. So I got into naturopathic medicine and I studied a lot of history of medicine, and I realized, there's a whole lot we don't know. And one thing that was really interesting to me is just going on down different pathways of new healing modalities and old ones, things that have been researched like sound frequencies for 80 years and watching all the changes in the medical world. And I knew there had to be something bigger and better. About 16 years ago, I got on board with the first sonic whole body vibration technology that was being created. And I've been with it since its inception. It is incredible technology. It's the most overall healing technology I found for the body. So that's been my path. We went into manufacturing about 5 years ago, and we have what I believe is an incredible machine. Use it every day, and we definitely walk our talk. And this is Carl Cadwell. He and his wife, I met them about 10 years ago and kind of insisted they try a machine.
Yeah, that was an interesting time because I was at best a skeptic and probably even maybe worse than that. And I probably considered a little voodoo and witch oil. And so I got on that one. She just absolutely insisted that I start using this. Is that when I got on it and got off it after the end of a hard day, I was re-energized. I was back to full life again. I was enjoying it. And I found that I just did this over and over, but a really interesting thing happened about, I'm guessing 6 or 7 years ago now. I was water skiing super hard, and I hit another boat wake, and I said, I can pull this out, and I'm pulling around like this and laying over, and I ripped my shoulder deltoid muscle and rotator cuff. And I could just hold my arm like this is all I could do. And the doc said, surgery on that rotator cuff, the deltoid probably will heal itself. And I'm going, how long do I have to wait? He says, no, you'll be back in because it hurts too much. He said, well, I'm pretty stoic. We're going to see how this works. And I also knew that I had this machine at home now, and I was using it every day. And so I went home and I got on it, and my hand had all the swelling from the injury up here. And I got on it and turned it on inflammation and edema. And about 30 minutes later, my hand looked perfectly normal again. But I still couldn't raise my arm, couldn't do anything. But when I got on the machine, I found out that I could raise my arm slowly. And by the end of the week, I could actually get it overhead, but only on the machine. And after 2 months of doing this, I had full motion, full range of motion, whack, excuse me.
Saw that one coming.
And no pain. And it took me a couple more months to gain back all the strength that I'd lost during that couple months of healing. My wife went on and she got on the machine, and she is, she was always struggling. She was in a size 12 pants, and after about 4 or 6 months, she was down to a size 8 pants and occasionally 6, depends upon the brand you buy. Amazing transformation in Linda's life at the same time. So we're going to talk about 4 different things here. We're going to talk about anti-aging. We're going to talk about how this works. What is the technology behind it? We're going to talk about what happens at a cellular energy level. How do we increase blood circulation, lymphatic drainage, and how do we start making bones stronger and really have you live a senior life that's amazing? I get to say that because I'm the old guy here.
Okay. So I think the number one key to anti-aging is actually your cellular energy or your cellular voltage. There was a man named Otto Warburg that did a lot of research on this and actually won a Nobel Prize. And what he found was that a lot of people have a cell voltage around negative 50 millivolts. And a healthy cell voltage is 70, 80, 90 millivolts. And when you get down to 50, your body's just dealing with toxins. When you get down to 35, you start getting sick, all the cells that can't resist anything, bacterial infections, viral infections, so you start getting sick with everything that comes along. And if you look at these pictures here, the one on the top is a live blood cell sample. And it's pretty common that you see live blood cells look like this. There's platelet aggregation, the cells are actually sticking together because they're so lifeless. When they're energized, they actually push away from each other because the surface membrane is negative. So that top picture is pretty classic. A lot of people look like that. There was a chiropractor that started doing studies before and after people were on the machine. And after 10 minutes, the cells would look like this, like the lower box that you see, the slide. It's not completely normalized, but it's much better than it was 10 minutes prior. And if with continued use on the Sonics machine, your cells will be energized and stay that way. And when they are energized, it's really the key to everything because the cells push away from each other. There's a lot more surface area and you can bring in a lot more oxygen and nutrients and get rid of waste products really easily. So it's absolutely key as far as duplication of cells. Healthy cells will make better cells. As far as being able to repair themselves after injury, after disease, healthy cells, high cell voltage, much shorter recovery time. So that is one of the biggest keys to anti-aging and the very first one.
And I did that when I was learning about this technology. I actually took a blood sample and looked at it under a dark field microscope, and my cells were all separated out, and they couldn't believe that was actually what they were seeing there, because everybody they looked at before all had clumped red blood cells.
All right, another key to anti-aging is circulation and lymphatic drainage. Most people are very well aware of the fact that we need great circulation. Keeps the body healthy, keeps the blood moving, all those oxygen and nutrients actually get to all those energized cells. It's very key for health and wellness. And as we get older, we tend to be a little bit less active, a lot of us, than we were before. And just 10 minutes on this machine is the same as doing an hour of moderate cardio. So it really pumps the blood throughout your body, keeps you in great cardiovascular health. The other major issue, probably the most neglected system in the body, is the lymphatic system. And it works kind of like a vacuum cleaner. A lot of people don't realize this. But for every major blood vessel and artery in your body, whether it's a vein or an artery, you have up to 4 lymphatic vessels running side by side around that vessel, constantly clearing out the bloodstream. And this is very, very important because you actually have to have very stable blood to even maintain life. It has very little tolerance for variance. So the lymphatic system is constantly cleaning out the bloodstream, taking all the debris and bacteria and everything to lymph nodes where your body can send in its own immune defenses like phagocytes to dissolve and destroy those things and keep you healthy. So where we have a great heart that pumps our blood everywhere, we don't have any pump on the lymphatic system. The only thing it relies on is muscle contraction and one-way valves. If you get on the machine, frequencies 4, 5, and 6 are perfect for lymphatic drainage. It's just enough to move the lymph forward and allow the blood vessel to close, the valve to close, so you don't get backflow. It's absolutely the best thing I have ever seen for lymphatic drainage in the body. And in fact, you can go to the next slide if you'd like. I know that the traditional allopathic community is looking at stagnation in the lymphatic system as being the #1 cause of disease because you're getting so many accumulation of toxins over a lifetime. Your lymphatic system gets really bogged down, and unless its fluid is circulated adequately, you can't clean out your vessel.
Wow.
The human vessel.
That's pretty cool. So we've really talked about 3 things now that it has. First of all is it's capable of increasing the energy in your cells measured in cellular voltage. So your cells all run at a more optimal level. The second thing it does is it improves our circulation of our blood. And it does that by basically exercising us while we're just standing there. And the third thing it does is it increases our lymphatic drainage. So it helps us get rid of all the breakdown products that are in our body and get rid of them so you're healthier, you recover more quickly, and you live life better, at least in my case. That's what I do.
All right. Okay, keeping strong muscles and bones. This becomes more critical as we age, especially with bone loss. Women, we're well aware of this. A lot of osteopenia, osteoporosis. Several studies have been done on whole body vibration and indicate that it stabilizes and can even reverse bone loss. I know that muscle loss also is an issue. The average person in our age group, I'm 54, you're
Oh, I'm ancient. I'm 76.
76. I didn't know if I wanted to say that out loud. And in this age group, I mean, if you don't exercise, you lose an average of 4 pounds of muscle per year. So not something we want to do is shrink as we get older. Go ahead, next slide, please. And the background of this technology was actually developed originally for the space programs because it's such a huge issue for bone and muscle loss in the zero gravity environment of space. So they developed these vibrational plates, strap the astronauts to them, they'd use them in space, and they wouldn't lose the bone and muscle. And then the Olympians started using them, and they found it in Earth's gravity that it would actually increase a lot of things, like their recovery. It would increase jump height, jump length, stamina, all of these things. So they actually have started using it in many arenas with Olympic athletics.
You know, I'm one that loves activity still. Even today, I water ski several times a week. I snow ski. I go to training classes twice a week. And when I go there, they push us all super hard. And I'm the oldest guy in the class. And I want to make sure I outperform everybody else in the class. And so I do. And I come back, 2 days later for the next class, and I'm the only one that's not sore. And they go, "What's going on?" I say, well, I get on my VibraSonic and I run that thing, and because I run it on the muscle pain and I run it on inflammation, what I'm doing is I'm dumping the lactic acid out of my muscles. I'm stimulating my muscles when I'm on the machine so that they heal more quickly. And so I'm ready to go really the next day. I could go do the same thing over and over again. And this is what I found. I've also found that I've gotten stronger, and that's part of my working out, but I also work out when I'm on the VibraSonic, and I do things like squats, and I do one-legged squats, and I do ones that open up the hips where you cross your leg over and do a squat. I also use straps or bungees and straps where I do curls, I do triceps, I do flies, and I missed you.
I think he's trying to hit me.
Anyway, I don't hit anybody. And so I found it was a great thing that's worked for me as being the old guy in virtually every class I go into. And I don't hurt. That's a great thing. I just don't hurt. And it's because I'm keeping such good care and with the Vibragenix machine that I'm getting rid of all the toxins and the breakdowns and things that happen there.
All right. So one part of this technology is the sonic whole body vibration, but there are also 80 years worth of sound frequency research that's in our software. So there's great frequencies for weight loss. They're also used in non-invasive lipo, but those frequencies are in the machine. There's other frequencies for increasing and supporting thyroid function to increase your metabolism, other ones for detox, for numbness, for all kinds of things, for constipation, edema. All of these frequencies are inside the machine, and they actually run through the machine. So you're basically getting 2 different types of technologies melded together into something that's very synchronous and really amplifies the effect. The other thing I wanted to touch on is recovery. So I'm 54, I water ski a lot, I snow ski in the winter, I work out a lot, and this is really key for me for recovery. Even the last time I went water skiing, I had a pretty bad accident. And it took about 2 days of using a lot of the frequencies on a lot of sore spots, and I'm back to where I'm ready to go again. And that's been about 3 days now. So really effective for that. A fully recovered body is the one that doesn't get injured. It's the one that performs at its best, whether you're an athlete or in your golden years or, just a regular human being, if you're recovered from whatever you did, whether it's a long bike ride or anything else you took, you can go out and perform really well the next day. So go ahead and, do you want to say something? I'll let you speak.
So there's really 4 things we've talked about here. We've talked about, how do we get our cells to run better? How do we keep our circulation? How do we keep the lymph drainage? But the 4th thing that's on here is all these frequencies that help various cells in the body perform at a much higher level. And that's part of the magic here that you just don't find in anything else.
Yeah.
And it's part of what helps you recover, helps you stay young, helps you stay super active. And there is one of these machines in the Carillon.
Yes.
And they've had it there since last fall, or I think it was late last fall. And when we went down and set that up, it's a beautiful place, by the way, at the Carillon.
February.
February.
It seems like last.
Oh, excuse me. It was February. That's right. It's just before this. February.
All right. And this is the special offer we wanted to make to you. So this is your ultimate recovery system. I have one of these chairs at home. We have one here at work. And of course, we all have the machines and we use them every day. This is a wonderful combination of massage. It does stretching, shiatsu, deep tissue, has heats and rollers, and it massages your feet, and, forearms and calves, and it's wonderful. It is a great combination to put it with the machine. So that is our offer, is if you get a VibraSonic Fusion, which incidentally is this machine right here. This is my favorite machine. That's what you put in your home, and it has all the frequencies, extended frequencies, panels, support, all that kind of thing. And you would get that, and then you get a free massage chair. So, pardon?
Questions?
Questions? Oh,
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions?
All right, so we have one already from Sarah. She asked, how often do you recommend using the Vibragenix machine?
So I did a study actually at his court club because I wanted to know what the short-term effects were, if we can get remarkable effects on wellness and weight loss within a month. And we actually set it up. I had 71 people. We had set it up so that they would come in 3 20-minute sessions a week, and they had to complete 11 out of 12 in that 4-week period of time to qualify for the study. And we had amazing results in weight loss. We actually had a guy lose 21 inches and 21 pounds, but only thing he did was drink more water. Everybody asked to drink more water because you're detoxifying. 3 times a week is great. I have it in my home, so I honestly use it every day. Once in a while, I'll skip a day, but it's pretty rare. And I do it with weights because you actually build muscle 30 to 50% faster if you're actually doing weights in that increased gravitational field, which is what the machine's producing.
All right, Cardella would like to know, is there an in-home product that mimics this machine?
This is the in-home product right here that you're looking at. So the Carillon actually has the Pro X. The tower is the same size, the one that's inside this pod right here. And that holds 550 pounds. It is the Mac Daddy commercial use. This actually has the same size tower, but it's called our Fusion. This is my favorite machine. Has all the bells and whistles, only holds 300 pounds though. So it's more home use, and then we have 2 machines in between there that don't have the additional speakers or the additional software, and they're priced a little less than that one. But 2 Pro machines that hold 550 pounds, 2 home machines that hold 300 pounds, but there's different option packages that you can put on each. So hopefully that answers the question.
What exercises do you do while on the VibraSonic?
Yeah, let me take this one. This is kind of fun because I do this all the time. I'm going to actually get on the machine here. So I don't have bands here with me, but we have weights.
Yeah,
We have bands on this one. Can you see me inside here?
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay, so
You want me to speak up?
Just have to yell.
yeah, I got to yell. It'll echo a little bit here. So I start out by I have the machine on and running. So I start by doing biceps, and then I do triceps. Okay. And I go to fatigue on each one, and then I do flies, and then I do clean and jerks.
Press.
Does that sound bad?
Clean and press.
Clean and press. Oh, that's right. Clean and press. Anyway, Then I go to squats, and I used to do two-legged squats, and most of the time you hang on to the handlebars and do those, but they're just like this and go down. I don't break 90 degrees in my knees just because I don't want to tear up knees. A lot of people go lower than that. And then I start doing one-legged squats, and I do 4 different kinds of one-legged squats. I do ones that go back like this. I do ones that go, I have to step forward, I'm kicking the back like that, and then I can bend forward and help the glutes. It's really a strengthening, great glute exercise. Then I do one where I just touch the foot down, and this is also glute strengthening. And then I go one where I go forward, and then I go one where I cross my leg over and go like this, which opens up my hips, and it's a great stretch. And so I do that, and I usually spend about 12 minutes doing all the exercises on the machine. The last 8 minutes is I do stretches when I'm on the machine. It's just a great stretch machine.
All right, Gloria, who has tried the machine at the Carillon and loved it, is wondering the price.
That's a great question. The home fusion is $8,250. If you want the big boy, it's $14,950. And this is the fusion here, $8,250, which is the home one. And that includes we're including a chair with that, a massage chair with that.
We do
That's
have,
a special.
yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
we do have 2 more models, like I said before. We do have a base model that doesn't have the Bose speakers and the additional software, and it runs at $69.50. So.
Yes.
Are there any contraindications of use?
There are recent surgeries. Talk about that for a minute. So 6 weeks is your general with most surgeries. If it's something very minor, you don't need to worry about it at all. If you've had a hip replacement, it's a year, 12 months. If you are, endowed with superpowers, like some people I've seen and their doctors have released them back to full exercise in 6 or 8 months, more power to you. You're fine to be on the machine. Knee replacements, total knees is 9 months. The main thing I want is if you have screws or pins put in your body, I want enough time to go by so that X-ray can show that there's fusion of the bone to the metal, because that's the most critical component for a lasting prosthesis. So, or a lasting repair that has metal in the equation. So other than that, you're fine if you have a pacemaker. We run that by a ton of cardiologists. And they say it's fine. They say don't lay down on the plate, but this is essentially, we can actually pump music through here. You could rock out or play your favorite symphony. There's powerful voice coils in the bass, Bose speakers, and then there's cell exciters that you put directly on your body. We have right here. They connect to the machine actually. And you go put them directly on your body if you want spot treatment for weight loss or for pain. They go directly on the body, and they're transducers. So basically, yeah, they'll be loud if you put them right there. Or you can put them on glass, turn it into a speaker system. So this is just, it's an amazing sonic wave system. It's not your traditional mechanical.
All right, Randy would like to know, if you cannot bring muscles to failure, is there still benefit in parentheses, lymphatic drainage, etc.?
Absolutely. So I do different exercises than he does. I use hand weights a lot. I do a lot of booty exercises. And I don't take things to failure. Normally I try to push myself. If I did 21 day in a set, I try to do 25 the next day. But even doing a little, I've even had clients or patients that have used 3-pound weights and they've started to tighten and tone. And as little as 10-minute sessions, after a couple of weeks, they can tell the difference in their muscle tone. So.
You mentioned recovery. Does that actually work? Like, could I go on a bike ride and be just fine the next day?
Absolutely. Recovery is one of the biggest things with this, shortening recovery time. And especially as we get older, it usually takes longer to recover. Our body is not as resilient as it used to be. And this can help us still play hard, ski hard, lift, do whatever we do, and still be fine, do it all over again the next day.
Yeah, we've had some athletes actually come in and do this where they typically go to fatigue, like in bodybuilding, and they usually can't do another, let's say it's a leg set, for a few days. They found out that when they can get on this, they can go do that leg set again the next day, which is very different than they've ever experienced before.
Yeah, on leg day. We had that happen with somebody that was training.
So how often and how long do I use this?
Well, starting with 10-minute sessions is great. If you're going to start with 20-minute sessions, it all depends on the toxicity in your body. So if you're really toxic, then you may want to take a day or two in between. Big thing is drink more water for sure. But 3 sessions a week at 20 minutes is pretty much ideal. Some people have to work up to that though. So split a session or whatever it takes. Some people need to start at 10.
Gloria says, if we buy a machine, does a specialist come with it for a few days?
A specialist. Well, maybe we can get some. If this is someone at the Carillon, if it's someone at the Carillon, I'm sure we could supply something. Some trained personnel. We did do training while we were there setting up, so I'm sure there's some that are trained well enough for some extra support. But I can definitely do online trainings. I do that with the software, especially when you order the Pro or the Fusion, because it has much more technical software in the background that you can pull up and use, where you have limitless possibilities on what you can do. I definitely do online trainings for that. And depending on where you live,
February in Florida sounds really good.
Yeah.
Does it increase CPK levels, or is that too technical to answer?
Can make no claims on that.
Yeah, we just don't know. It hasn't been measured.
All right, and so I think that's all we have for questions. Let's see if anybody else throws anything in here while we're looking. Oh, here we go. How heavy is the machine? She has 3 houses, so is it possible to move it?
Yes. It is possible, and it's actually quite easy. There's only 2 components. There's a base and the tower, and you slide the base out just a little, disconnect one connection electrical wire, and you can move it. You're probably going to need 2 people, and depending on how far you're going to move. If you're shipping, we can talk you through that. If you're moving it in a vehicle, we can talk you through that. Pretty easy.
So the home one weighs about 220 pounds.
But you can separate.
But they're separated into 2 pieces.
And that's all the questions I see, but last time one popped up as we were saying that.
All right, this has been awesome. We appreciate the opportunity to come and speak and share.
I wanted to refer you somewhere. So the Vibragenix.com, or company name.com, there's an 8.5-minute video on there that covers graphically, very graphically, everything this does in the body. It doesn't go into the frequencies and that technology being brought in, but just the frequencies that affect the main program that stimulates all the cells in your body and every muscle group and every organ. But it shows, with the circulatory system, lymphatic system, cell voltage, a lot of these concepts, it elaborates on them with great graphics, so it's much easier to understand. So I'd highly recommend for another piece of information that you go there.
Gloria would like to know if there is a lot of upkeep.
There's not. Depending on, do you think we're going to have to relube the bearings in a couple of years?
Home use, I have 12 of these machines, okay, just because I have some clubs and I have them in my family, and we just love them, and people at the club use them all the time. The ones at the club are used like 10, 12 hours a day. They're just pounded. And those we have to grease the bearings about every year to 2 years, okay? At home, man, if you're paranoid about it, you can grease the bearings. It's a really simple process to grease the bearings, and it just takes a simple chassis lube to do that. There's 4 bearings in that base plate. So that's the only maintenance there is on this, and it's questionable even if you have to do it at home.
I have had to do it for different customers over the years. Like I said, I've been with this technology for 16 years. And after, it seemed like the average was 4 to 5 years in a home use situation where you have, your basic people that live there and maybe some of their friends using it. So other than that, no, doesn't need any maintenance. Software gets updated occasionally, but there's just a button that says check for software updates, and all you do is push it. You're never charged, and it will just update your software. So it's pretty pretty user-friendly, and I think we've thought of most things. We spent an awful lot of time in R&D perfecting this one. Any other questions?
I think that's everything as far as questions.
Wow, well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Enjoyed doing this and hope to hear from you. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to call.
Call her. No, you can call any one of us. We'll be glad to take care of it.